Tracking strategic developments in the ad and marketing world and updating you with the latest in the industry is what we are here for. Welcome to yet another episode of Brandstand and get ready to be hands-on with all the happenings in Brandland. So let's get started and check out what we have in store in today's episode. An insight into the growing trend of experiential marketing. And a conversation with Shivjit Khullar on his latest venture. Here's an update of the top news of the week. Lenovo India has assigned its full range of digital media duties to Performix, Resultrix, the performance marketing arm of Zenith, part of Publicis Media. In the past decade, Lenovo has transformed exponentially from a pure-play PC brand to a global leader offering a diverse range of innovative consumer, commercial and enterprise technology products. Performix has held leadership position in the market as a pure-play performance player and has consistently enhanced its digital offerings. Soho Square has been handed the creative duties of Piaggio brands Aprilia and Vespa after a hard-fought pitch involving multiple agencies over several rounds. Piaggio, though, isn't entirely new to Soho Square. The agency earlier relaunched Vespa in India. However, due to a global realignment, the account had to be moved. This time, though, the Piaggio India team was specifically looking for a local agency with a deep understanding of Indian markets. Although the pitch was only for the Aprilia account, the Piaggio management eventually decided to award the entire two-wheeler business, including Vespa, to Soho Square. Curious is all set to host Zee 2016 on August 26th and 27th with an interesting lineup of speakers and panel discussions. To be held in Delhi, the festival aims to bring together advertising, digital, marketing, emerging technologies, media and PR industry to celebrate creativity. This year, Melt will feature some of the most influential names in the business of creativity and marketing communications, including industry experts such as Ted Maelstrom, Per Nilsson and Mark Van Itterson. Some other speakers to watch out for are Tom Betts, Andrew Odell and Carol Dixon. Melt 2016 will consist of a range of conferences, seminars, exhibitions, showcases, workshops and network sessions for delegates from across marketing and communication genres by industry experts catering to all experience levels. Suzuki Motorcycle India has announced the appointment of Sajeev Rajashekharan as its new Executive Vice President for Sales and After Sales. In this capacity, he will be responsible for driving growth in market share as well as delivering great experience for all Suzuki customers. Sajeev brings with him a wealth of experience from over 2 decades spent in marketing, sales and operations. He last served as Panasonic India's Deputy Divisional Managing Director. Google's new research report, Global State of Play, has revealed several insights about the rapidly growing trend of brands using programmatic technology to serve video ads. The report also throws light upon the viewability stats from across Google's video properties. As per the report, programmatic, which was once considered as a performance marketing tool for low-quality display inventory, has now become a key strategy for top brands, agencies, broadcasters and media companies. The research also states that many advertisers are still paying for video ad impressions, ads that are merely served but not necessarily watched by everyone. Video ad viewability varies significantly by country, with the exception of YouTube, which has consistently high levels of viewability globally. Brands today increasingly want to interact with their consumers directly and instill their values and identity in their minds. One of the primary techniques they adopt to communicate effectively with the consumers is by creating unique experiences via experiential marketing. Experiential or below the line as a practice is really catching on as more and more marketers are realizing the significance of conversing with their customers instead of simply communicating one way via mass media. Here's what some practitioners and marketers said on asking about the role experiential has played as a marketing technique and the potential it has going forward.
When a new project is launched, it may still be a barren tract of land where, construction has not begun, but you have this lovely apartment which they always pre-construct to show to their prospective buyers. And when you walk in, you're almost walking into your own home. And suddenly the purchase decision is evaluated at a different level. Experiential marketing is the new reality. consumers actually today would pay for more experiences, would want to experience pre-purchase. So it is a path that all of us as brand custodians will have to tread sooner or later.
Experiential marketing is all about enabling personal connections between brands and consumers by creating real-life experiences that are worth sharing. These experiences combine digital and real-world connections to create stronger memories and emotional bonds between brands and consumers. Live experiences are gaining their fair share of the pie in brands' media plans as they appeal to the basic human needs, connecting and socializing.
I think it's a round circle. It's coming back to the stage of brands being in existence for a purpose more than just in existence for merely an ROI now. It used to be, brands used to stand up for a purpose. They had a need gap they wanted to fulfill. It's then moved into the ROI model and a lot of pressure on ROI from brands' point. But gradually, senior marketeers are also realizing that if you have to look at a 3-year vision, a brand of purpose is going to help them more than just being a tactical brand of ROIs.
Today, people do not buy a brand because of its quality or because of its, what the brand, what the product is all about. What they buy is a purpose. Okay, so if you see the examples of brands which are doing well today, which is Apple and Coke, though I'm taking examples of urban brands, and the same goes for rural, because ultimately whether it is urban or rural, we are talking to people, and people have something which is emotion, and emotion is common across a rural audience or an urban audience. So when we talk to any kind of an audience, especially to a rural audience today, we should start talking about purpose, how we are going to better their lives. And experiential marketing will help them to understand how their lives will become better. So if your brand can take the purpose as a root and try to build on that purpose and use experiential marketing and digital integration to drive the message, I think that works wonders nowadays.
By combining live engagement, dimensionalized experiences, and digital technology, marketers and agencies have found the sweet spot for the products and services of most brands and are giving their customers a window to experience and feel their brand, so much so that experiential or BTL is now a full-blown industry in itself.
I think the baby of experiential marketing stood up on his own feet. It obviously has a lot more to accomplish and go forward, but we know that now it's at a stage where this industry in itself can be self-sustaining and it can be called an industry rather than just in the past where it used to be very few brands believing in engagement. They were more looking at reaching out to masses at an economical cost, but the shift's moving into sustenance relationships with brands.
The rationale behind experiential marketing is that consumers, regardless of what they've heard about a product or service, ultimately buy based on how they personally interact with whatever the company offers. That is, it is the experiences of the consumer that result in brand loyalty. The goal of experiential marketing thus is to appeal both to the rational and emotional sides people have, so the consumer has a product or service experience that is truly memorable, something which mass media or above the line cannot provide.
I think any organization needs to have a joint strategy, and your BTL becomes more effective if your ATL has worked. To give you an example, ATL drives large awareness. I'm making generic statements, but we use ATL to drive total awareness. The minute more consumers know about you, your BTL will become more effective. So while BTL may be more measurable and trackable in a business sense of the word, to get more bang for your buck, it has to be a joint strategy where both ATL and BTL do the work for you.
Marketers nowadays are increasingly counting on experiential and event marketing as live brand experiences are more capable of engaging audiences effectively in a big world which is full of digital, sometimes impersonal marketing.
Engaging with the customer one-on-one which which you can club in the larger segment of BTL as well, is extremely important specifically for financial services and more important for housing finance and home loan, simply because these products or these services are perceived to be extremely complex by the customer, and hence a face-to-face interaction always demystifies and simplifies the offering for the customer.
Normally, how you sell your product through your brochures, through some communication, people really don't understand the value addition what we'll have, from those. Once you come and experience it, your whole mind changes. You are much more convinced about the offering than a normal product catalog.
Most marketing strategies are a bit of a gamble, but in case of experiential, the ROI speaks for itself. According to the 2015 EventTrack study, events and experiences provide a clear boost in brand perception and ultimately drive purchases.
I don't think it's the time to now calculate ROI. Calculation of ROI is way ahead because you're still now building the base. You've still not reached people. You've not reached your correct target audience.
Cost of acquisition in this business or cost of acquisition from a reach point in this business will be always very high. It won't be as economical as a TV or a print, but then you need to put a balance between just reaching out to a number or really converting that person into a fan or a consumer of your own product. There are two different objectives which are being met here.
Sales may be the ultimate goal, but the path to the bottom line relies on creating real customer connections. Experiential marketing pulls people into the brand, and that's the real ROI. And joining me for a quick conversation is the brain behind iconic campaigns like Uncle Chips and Mayur Suitings, Shivjit Khullar, who was once an ad man and now a serial entrepreneur. I'd like to start with your third and latest startup, Attitude.com. Tell us what's that all about.
We've built a kind of a machine, an online gaming machine called Attitude, ADYTUDE, Attitude.com, where the front end is a game. So you come on as a consumer and you play. So you answer questions on ads and then you win prizes and you do lots of stuff there. We even give out cars. Then in the back end, we are pulling out data from that game you've been playing and selling it to clients. So as a result of this, you are able to do research 500% faster and 80% cheaper than normal research. So it's fun. It's fun because this is allowing us to disrupt the market and kind of giving clients a lot of value.
Well, that sounds interesting, but how do you get people to do these surveys or play, as you say?
We give a lot of gifts to the users, so you can win, you can earn like a variety of goodies and rewards, and once every 2 months we actually give out a car. So that's the mix of incentives we have. The challenge in this was that people were wondering whether it's possible to get people to come onto a site and actually spend time playing this game, answering questions, and building a community was our great challenge, which has worked. So the average time spent on our site is 13 to 14 minutes, which is higher than Flipkart, higher than Twitter, because people don't spend so much time on sites. So it's an interesting venture, and I think it's going to turn advertising around in an interesting way.
While a lot of data on consumers is being collected, do you think marketers are using them effectively to understand their consumer?
Actually, this depends, because there are a lot of clients using data very effectively, especially the MNCs and the bigger clients, and it allows them to stay on track. And there's a huge number of clients who are not using data at all. Like our calculations are, in Delhi alone, there's between 20 and 70 crores expenditure on television. There are 800 clients who are not using research. So there are guys using research very well, and there's another set of guys who haven't used it at all. So So that's what's interesting, because when we meet those kind of clients and we do projects with them and they say, hey, we never realized that all this could be so useful to us.
You know, thousands of dollars are being spent on looking at insights and making the right connect with consumers. While it's good to read the consumer by way of research, there are some creative leaders who don't believe much in market research and more on the gut. What is your view on what is the best route to take?
I was a creative guy for 27 years and I used to believe in gut instinct all the way, and everybody asked me that why has a creative guy invented a feedback site? And I think the answer is that gut has to go along with some basic information. If you only go with your gut, you might be totally off. So I am not saying that research dictates all the creative you do. I'm saying it sets the perimeters within which you can then do really interesting ideas.
You've crafted several iconic campaigns. How much would you say does creative help in getting the buy-in from consumers?
Actually, it's a strange thing, because when I created these campaigns, there was some basic research involved, but I didn't find it very useful. And moving ahead, I then realized that research is too much of jargon and very difficult to read something simple between the lines. So research didn't help me there, but the kind of feedback we do here hopefully is helpful because it's simple, it's conversations.
Great, thanks much for joining us for Brandstand and all the very best for your ventures. That's all we have on Brandstand this week. It's great fun bringing the show to you. Do mail us your feedback at brandstand@zeemedia.slgroup.com or reach us via Twitter. Goodbye until next time. Take care.